Hi guys, how you doing? In this video, I will make a simple guideline about the login screen and the Jetpack Compose. Have you watched a lot of video in the Android Developer Summit 2021 and you saw a lot of video about the Jetpack Compose? That's the reason I make this video. Sometimes you know how the text will work with the Jetpack Compose, or you know about how to display the text, how we display the button. But sometimes it's hard to handle some event like the next focus and how to handle the visibility button here. Other thing, how do we handle automatically enable the login button, and alongside with that, how do we handle about the hide the keyboard in some scenario. So basically we will see how is the app work by the end of this video. We have the username. I enter any username and I click next button. It will navigate to the password and enter the password. The login button will enable. You can see that if you disable and enter, it will enable, and then we can click show about work here, and then we can click hide the keyboard from the done button. Yes, that's it, the output of this video. So let's jump into the code and see how it's rolled out in the Jetpack Compose. Now we are jumping to the code. I only create a simple the Jetpack Compose from the Android Studio. I hope you can do that by yourself to save up time. So on the Jetpack Compose, it doesn't have the material icons. So in the app, I include the dependency here. You can see the element, the Android DX Compose material and material icons extended. So that's all I need to add to display the visibility button in the password screen. So let's jump to the code. On the main screen, I will create the new one that's called the Jetpack Compose login. So how it works, and let's see. It's more, I assume that you already know about the column, the button, and some text field in the Jetpack Compose, and otherwise like some information about display the label and display the text. Here we can see how it's display the text here. So let's see. First of all, I will use some information to display the view first, and how do we handle the text and display the login button status alongside with the username and password. So create the login view that's called composable, and first login view. Here I need to create a column, and we had a column and column here. I need to have the modifier. Maybe I can receive the modifier from the parents. So that modifier and equal default. That's all here. And from in the column we can use the modifier from parent modifier, and we can have some field width, field mask width. Other thing, we can have button that I set that is 60 dB, and it will like the default button in the Android material. So other thing, I need to make sure that it had a vertical arrangement between the element in the login. So I add one more information here, and arrange that with space by, we have this space by arrangement space here. So after I enter the information for the column, now I need to use the outline text field. It has some default value here, so I can put some value. Example, I have that one. Example here, we can put some blah 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 blah, something like that. And on text change, I just make sure it has some handle here. but right now it's empty. So I can fill some information here. We can see in the outline text field what it has. The parameter here, we have the on value change, we have the modifier, we have the ensemble or disable, style, label, placeholder, lit icon, trailing icon. Trailing icon I will use in this one for the password. And we have visual transformation and houses element to display the secure password. That means without showing the information really detailed. Keyboard option here. Example, the options here in the username, we have the next button. We can set in the properties here. It will display the next button, and in some scenario, that's the last field in your form. We can check the done button here, and some information about the mouse line interaction or input, something like that. So let's see. I will use here. Example, I still leaving it empty here. So here I need to put on the label. The label does mean the information outside to let you know about that. So I need to dash the text and I put here the username. Or maybe in your scenario you put the email, but here I call the username. The thing I need to put the keyboard option because we have different option here. We have the keyboard option. Oh yeah, that's the keyboard action. But it's more here. On this one need to handle for the on next. So on next, how will you handle that? I will leave it empty. And I need to enter the keyboard option. And I had the keyboard option here. I will fill in some information. Example, here I want to enter the keyboard type, so I need to keyboard type, and I put as a email. Okay, other thing I need to email option action. Here I need to action it. Next, it will have the, you can see we can make this review default review, and I use the login button. Login view. We can see on that one. That's the convenience of the Jetpack Compose when we have some code and then we can see on the screen without the login to the application on device or emulator. So that's we call declarative programming. We had the usernames and we only had the label and we had some action, but we don't handle anything else. Yes, so basically I can put the password to the password. The password here I just call the password. I think it's still built-in. Here I call the action done. It's just different. That is called the password. Password is built-in, and then it takes a little bit time. Sorry for that, because my computer is a little bit low performance. You can see here this. I had all information, and now we can see the different text field in our screen. If you know how to use the button here, so I just use the button. That's it. Had the event on click. I leave it empty. You can see on the screen right now it have, so yeah, it had a username and password. We can set some interaction here, but I just leave it empty now. You can see it will have some interaction mode. In some scenario, if your app doesn't enable the interaction mode, you need to go to the setting and go to experiment and enable that. But experimental here, you can enable interact and animation review tool, and that will help you interact. Here we have the username and password, but you can see that the username text field and password text field, it doesn't stretch alongside with the screen. So we need to add a modify here. Modify equal modifier field mask width is the same width for the password. We can see here. I've refreshed, it will have that it spreads alongside with the screen, and we need to display the text for the button, so that is called the login. Now it will display all the information here. But how do we handle that? Because the login button is not the central of the screen, so how do we handle the login in the central? So let's see. So if I want to display the login button in central, so we need to have some alignment for the horizontal. I need to horizontal, and that's it. Arrangement, center horizontal. We can format the code for easy to see. We format code. Now we can see the source code here. After we had a column, we had a text field, and we had username, password already there. So now how do we handle the text when user enter, and how do we disable the login button? So keep watching. If you have any comment, leave it the message in the video. So here we have some event here, and how do we display the visible and invisible button here. So let's start. I assume that I already include the material icons extended here, so that I can use the visibility button alongside with that. So I assume that you already know about remember some mutual state in the Jetpack Compose. So here I need to define some information for the username. That's called the one user name state is equal mutable. No, just remember. Okay. Oh no. Mutable state, and that's empty. I need to import that. And we also need to have the password state on here. Yes, we can enter the value. We need to have the username state value, and when the change, this one is change, and we need to update the value. So every time event change, it will get the string from the user input here. So, we just reassign again from the username state. So set value equal it. Alongside with that, we can use in the password. The password, we have the password state dot value, and here we also have the password state dot value equal it. So every time user enter the username and password, we can display information and get information with that state. alongside with that, in some scenario you can use the live data or Java to handle that, but in this video I make it simple with the multiple stage from the Jetpack Compose. It's really easy to do that. So we had a username and had a password. We can handle the Ansible event here. We in the button. So we had the enable. That's called the enable. Let's see. So the person will have the enable. Where enable? It doesn't show dynamic. Enable. I hope it works. Yeah. Here. So we need to make sure the username is not empty. So it's not empty. Yeah, that's just a simple check. You can make some scenario to check the email in your real code, or maybe the password in the real. That's a bit different. Yeah, so basically we already had a username and a password. Now the button is only answerable in case user only enter the username and password. We can see on the screen immediately. Now the login button will in the middle screen because we already set the horizontal alignment, and the username and password will control the status of the login button. That's on the UI we look almost the expectation of the screen. But when user click the event show password or not show password, right now we don't have the icon yet. So the icon had two states. So and we had setting some information about the visual transformation and how it works. Example, I need to have the state of the show password first, and then other icon is visibility equal. I also use the remember state, and invisibility maybe something. Sorry for that. Yeah, and now it's correct name. I put here, and in that some scenario I need to put here with the some checking visual. That's it, the value visual transformation. If it's true with this place, that is default visual. That will secure that password. Yeah, and then the comma. Other thing is more we had the icon, the tailing. That's called the tailing icon. What? Equal something related to the icon. So we need to set in the icon here. That's called the icon button because it handles the event every time user click to that. So we can use the icon button. And every time user click on that, we need to reset the visible value here. So we just toggle that. That means every time it says click to the button, and if you automatically change the scale or not scale from the visual transformation from here, and or we can display different icon if, and then it had the icon. So it had the icon we can use the icon image vector, and here the logic to display the icon or the thing content description I just set empty. So icon, we need different icon based on the value of the visibility. So I just copy here. I need to check if this is visibility, display different icon, and L different icon. So first, if it's visibility, I can use the icon, use fill. Oh no, I need to hide the code a little bit. Filled, I need to fill the icon dot and visibility. Otherwise, it will use L icon. I don't think that's an icon. I missed the X. Yes, I need to import. Do I get the again? Yeah, I already had the extended here. So from icons field, so there's a capital. Yeah, now we had some action when user enter the username and password, and user can click show and hide the icon. So you will see that soon. I just reformat the code to make sure it's really easy. So okay, so maybe I need to build on the emulator and see how far the app running right now. Yeah, sorry for slow of my computer. So it will run and you will see the program how it's so far until now. This is the old one and it's still building. So basically we had some event here, and we had already had a visible and invisible. We have handled some of the text, and the next one, how do we handle for the keyboard action, and how do we hide the keyboard. So just keep watching to see how it works. Oh yeah, I forgot to use the login view. Yeah, you can see that now we have the login and we have the visible and invisible button, and we can enter the information here. So I just use the login. We can see I can view it now and see in the future. Now we're almost done, and just keep watching. If you have any comment, any suggestion for me to improve in the future about the video, I really welcome to receive your comment. So how do we handle the next request and how we do that? So in Jetpack Compose, it has some object that called the focus request. I can use that like this, and we can use them. Remember to handle that focus requester, and that's equal, remember something the same, and that's a request source. Is something missing? Yeah, we had the last one, so we need to add that information in the text field. So every time it will update the request focus. So the first one here, for the first text field we don't need to handle that. The second one we need to handle, and we have start information and we need to focus requester. That's it. So that will pass the focus requester here. Other thing, when we enter on next, we need to have something like focus requester. That's maybe optional or maybe request focus. So that's the next. If you pass the focus to the password screen. So I hope it will work now. We can see how it's work in the app. So let's see. Okay, that's it, our new program, and you can see that's the old one, that's the new one. The screen will be look like our expectation now, you can see. And then that you see the login button automatically enable. And how it work here is just observe the value chain of username and password. We can see the code, the whole code here, and we can see from this one it can click next. Yes, it works. So far it's work, and we can test for the visible and invisible. Yes, it works. And now the next one, how do we handle some event hide the keyboard when user click done? So that's the on done. Let's see. Yeah, we define done, so we just can handle the on done button here. So we had the on done, you can see that. And how do we handle that? When user click the keyboard and user click the done, and it will hide the keyboard. So let's see how it works. So keyboard, we can have some metric that can be called a metric to get the current keyboard controller. It supports everything from here. So it looks very simple to get that. We have that here. We call the keyboard controller, and then we can use local. Yes, that's current. That's some interaction with the new experimental Compose UI API, so we need to annotate for the app know about that. Yes, somewhere it's also mentioned too. We just make the annotate there. So when user click the on done, we can do hide the keyboard. That's all. If you hide the keyboard first, in some case you have some scenarios like login to the server side and something you need to handle from on done here, or maybe you can write down some method that we'll use for both scenario, this and this too. That's all. I think everything is look good, and we can test the program again. Yes, I need to close the old one, and that's the new one. I'm sure we can enter that's something like that, and click next. Hello there, and can click solve. Okay, I can click login here. If you want to handle the event, if you hide the keyboard, you can code here too, or maybe just let's. If you want to have more space in between the password and pattern, we can put a modify here. Modify. Top. And then it will have more space. Something missing. Maybe modifier. Yeah. If you don't know how to write the coding code, so you need to study about the parameter with the function in coding. It will help you to understand more about the Jetpack Compose. This video follow with step by step, so it's a little bit long, but I hope you guys enjoy the video and like the video. If you like the video, you can like, or maybe you can share with your friend. Or other scenario, if you want to receive more video about the Jetpack Compose, subscribe my channel. I will try to make more video about the Jetpack Compose or Android development in future. So thank you for your time and watching alongside me with my video. So now we can see how it works, and we can see the UI here. It will a little bit different. It will reload again and see how it's there. Yeah, we can see that login button have more space, different with the password. That's the username and password. Yes, yeah, look good. That's right. Yeah. So see you in the next video. I will make how to implement the alert dialog, different kind of the alert dialog in the Jetpack Compose. So let's see. Bye.